they take care of the deposit, but they're the ones keeping books on what money is coming in and what money is going out. So that's their fee for those services.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Gary?
Yes.
Zach?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Item G, review and possible action on financial report.
You got, I think, 3 bank statements there under tab G. The current balance of the Grady County School Finance Authority is $834,964.75 as reflected in the agenda. We're not doing anything with those funds, and we've talked several times about moving a good chunk of those over to the commissioners, and we're legally authorized to do that. Ruth wanted to get together, to discuss that, and she apparently spoke with some public accountant or something like that had some recommendations on how to do that, and wanted to meet about that before we actually took any formal steps. So as of right now, we haven't done anything with it.
Okay, so no action on anything?
No, we're just, informing you and the public as to
Okay.
what that current balance is of the account.
Okay, item H, review and possible action on correspondence received since previous meeting.
Nearly all of H is requisitions for payment associated with different bonds for these school districts. There are a few documents in here that are associated with tax filings that are required, but in all honesty, it's the same kind of stuff that comes through every meeting.
Okay, just acknowledgement.
Yeah, we've set it up for a vote, but I don't think any vote is necessary.
Okay. Acknowledge H. Item I is consideration and possible action upon request for payment of attorney fees for actions taken by Perryman and Perryman LLP on behalf of the Grady County School Finance Authority. Motion to approve.
Second.
Gary?
Yes.
Zach?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
That was, just to be clear, that was Gary's motion and Zach's
Yes.
second.
Yes, sir.
Before you adjourn, I would like to go ahead and have you sign off on all the mess that I needed signatures on associated with the prior minutes and the audit.
Each one of these are just,
No, it'll be on these.
oh, retail.
And that other.
Something will come out.
Audits.
That's okay.
And I'll fill out all the rest of that.
Yes.
Come on, Bill.
Miss Caesar.
You don't need your signature. Thank you.
How you
I'm
looking?
gonna, if you would swing by after this meeting, I'll have a check for the account and a check for our office for him to sign. Is that all right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
They were really cool.
And
Entertained motion to adjourn.
Second.
Yes, and that's fine.
that was Gary's motion?
We've never done
Yeah.
that. So
Okay,
picture.
thank you, guys.
Gary?
Yes.
Zach?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Gary?
Here.
Zach?
Here.
John?
Here.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 3, discussion and possible approval of a plat called Autumn Ridge.
Good morning.
How are you?
Have 2 copies.
Good.
Yeah. So. This is all our area, just west of Winter Creek entrance.
Yes.
Out of my list. Y'all, are y'all accepting road maintenance? or
No.
not? Is
So
that-
I
is that
looked and I
money?
didn't see that anywhere on here.
No, it's,
But that would be the motion I make to accept the plat on accepting road maintenance. That's where I put that was.
Usually Rick does all the. A signature.
My bad.
Yeah,
I think he's been on there long enough. We'll just.
Straight upstairs.
Thank you.
Oh, I'll take that.
Thank you all.
I made motion, Zach second. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you. Yes.
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 Item 4, discussion and possible approval of minutes for December 2025 commissioners meeting. Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Yes.
Yes.
Abstain.
Item 5, discussion and possible approval of blanket purchase orders. Motion to approve.
Second. Yeah.
Gary,
Yes.
Zach,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
this is the one.
Okay, item 6, review purchase orders generated by Grady County governing bodies during the current and previous months and authorize or deny payment of such purchase orders.
We got a few to read here. First one is general government to Sanders, Welch, Wallace, and Holton PC. Blanket PO exceeded, ended up coming multiple days due to retro pay. Public health, blanket PO exceeded. Looks like some services were not previously being taxed correctly and were obligated to make corrections. It resulted in increased fees and church surcharges. Sheriff's Office to FBI Lita, registered with no open PO. Rush Springs Senior Citizen Center, Leaf Capital Funding, invoice dated before the PO. 7332. Rush Springs PO, Rush Springs Senior Center, PO dated before, invoice dated before PO, to, First Choice Coffee Services. Highway District 3 to Kenworth, invoice dated before PO. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Doesn't matter. Gary?
Yes.
Zach?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Ooh, more space.
Item number 7, discussion and possible action on reports from the Emergency Management Director, Grady County Fire Department, and Safety Director.
Good morning. I printed one picture. So last 2 weeks have been very productive. That's the Nomad comms vehicle that was purchased some years ago. So through a lot of help, and then Nomad was very helpful, even though we were out of warranty. And they were on it, so they sent their field service tech back, repaired the issues that came from their build, not us. In the build, there were some errors in some relays. And then he gave us a training, so we had training last Thursday. I say a training, it was a brief overview of everything that that thing's capable of. And I did the picture because on top of that has a camera, all the radios are in there for the different frequencies that we operate on. There's 3 stations for computer panels. On the back, you can open up the tailgate. There's a huge TV there for briefings. It has a built-in generator to back itself up as well. And we have a slave set up over at the sheriff's compound inside the fenced-in area. So now I'm gonna keep working on it so I can become very familiar with it, and I'll be the trainer. But even in talking to the undersheriff, have some others train the trainers what the military term is, and I'm believing it's the same. Where some few of us can really have knowledge on it, and then no matter if somebody's on leave or vacation, that thing can be employed and deployed when needed. So it was awesome. Now, the one thing, I will have a meeting today at 1 via Teams with the warranty guy from Nomad, cause I believe we, in my opinion, we should have a warranty. I'll get you the money for the numbers and let you know what that is, so you can make a decision on that warranty, at least for a little while. I think after we really understand it, many things, cause it's electrical, can be probably done local, but for now, keep them in the loop while we're learning this thing and deploying it, in the midst of a crisis or a disaster. So it was 12 of us, a lot of Grady County Fire, City of Chickasha Emergency Management with their counterpart, myself, and the 2 ladies from my office, because I told them that they have to be able to at least turn it on and prepare it for, as an example, dispatch. Because if there's an event that big, dispatch will be overwhelmed, they can't walk out there and get it ready if something happens. So that way they can also at least get it started. So I'm a big believer in redundancy. The box truck, all the vehicles are up, no more batteries. District 2 showed me where the huge, pressure washer is, so all those vehicles will get taken care of. And we'll start a service plan on every vehicle. The inventory that we're doing for our office will be complete before the end of this month, so before the new year. And then this week I'll meet with some emergency management from Tunnel, Michael Fay, and I'll go to a frac site training Wednesday. And then I'll go visit Dale today, he's home. I'm gonna go say hi and take him some coffee.
Thank you. Kim?
At our last board meeting, our board members approved to purchase a command unit, and that unit did come in last week, so we're working on specs now for the upfit bid, that'll be on the agenda for next week for you guys to approve to go out on. I really think that's all, other than just normal stuff that we did last week.
Okay, thank you, Kim. Bobby?
Well, we're wrapping up the hot water tank inspections with Department of Labor. We have some minor corrections that we have to do, so he'll be back out. I sent those, emails to every department, Mike's been on it, and we've got a bunch of them already corrected. Once we get those corrected, we'll be completely finished for the next 2 years. Other than that, I was down for 2 days on my back, so, but I'm good. So we're wrapping up for the 2025 year and going into 2026.
Okay, thank you, Bobby. Item A, discussion and possible action on the report and work orders from the construction superintendent, Mike.
They finished painting your building Friday. I've not been there to look, but he sent me a video. It looked pretty good from his video.
Yeah, pretty good.
I've not been down there to actually really look at it. And then if the weather's good this week, they're supposed to pour sidewalks and approaches on the new parking lot across from the sheriff's office. That's really all I've got. And then plumbers and electricians will be on the new addition down there getting it ready.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Y'all doing a great job.
Thanks.
Item number 9 is public comments. Comments from the public will be limited to 2 minutes. Time may be extended at the discretion of the board, and Corey Brewer signed up.
So as you know, I'm a county employee, but that's not the stance that I'm here in. I'm here as a stance as a public citizen of District 2. And as a citizen, I'm requesting the commissioners not purchase 428 South 6th Street. It's one of the better looking churches in the city, but that's where it is, it's a church. It's not a building that's used or occupied for 40 hours a week. When you take into consideration the age of the structure, materials used to build it, is it a wood structure, or are we gonna need to put sprinklers in it? Or is it steel structure? I believe part of it's steel concrete. I believe the older portion is a mix, if I remember correctly. No ADA accessibility to public areas, to all public areas. No ADA compliant restrooms. Older non-commercial HVAC units. That's a lot of money right there, just in restrooms and HVAC, if we have to fix them. Distance to other county resources that may need to be looked together by fiber. And what is gonna be done with the building when the courts move back? We're gonna have church. You know, if it were a structure we could convert into offices or something like that, it'd be another story, but it's a sloped floor, I believe wood and steel structure. It doesn't have a fire alarm, or do we have to add a sprinkler to it? That's kind of one of my big issues also. I'd rather see the money used for District 2, that however much it is, I'd rather see raw land purchased and move District 2 actually into District 2. To me, that makes more sense. The current building where District 2 is Spalding. And I don't know if y'all know the dangers of Spalding, but 98 people lost their lives with the Searchlight condo collapse from Spalding. That building shouldn't even be in service. I'd rather see that money used to go towards that. We currently have a structure on Chickasha Avenue that is owned by Grady County. It's a better location. We currently lease that out at the end of the lease. My suggestion is to move the occupants out, add ADA compliant restrooms and the appropriate entries, and make that the judicial center for the time being. New air conditioners on it, definitely newer electric, new roof. I know it's small, but it's just temporary. It's just for the purposes of remodeling where you know, there are, shipping containers to be purchased for, storage out in the parking lot. But the bigger question is where's the money to come from for the remodel? Let's stop putting cart before horse and take care of what's important now, which is the District 2 facility. Let's spend the funds on that. Let's involve the community on the remodel of the historic courthouse. I think that's very important. It's a beautiful structure. It's where it needs to be. If there's not enough room, we all know that. So also, being that we're gonna likely require a loan or bonds, to finish all of the remodeling, that's something we need to take into consideration, because I don't know how many people in Minnetonka would be ready for a, raise in property taxes right now to cover a remodel. So let's slow down a little bit on the remodel and think about ways we can save money by not purchasing that building, by moving, if we are gonna go ahead and remodel, put people into structures we already currently own. There's no sense in buying additional structures. We wanna get them all there. And that's just my thought as a citizen. So I do appreciate you listening.
Thanks, Wayne.
Thank you, Corey. Item 10, new business. Anybody have any new business? Have any?
I got none.
Okay. No new business. Item 11, discussion and possible approval of the following draw request from Grady Memorial Hospital with sales tax accounts held with First National Bank. Industry Systems, computer, laptop, $1,590.60. Midline Industries, vision and hearing screeners, $21,570.68. Scott Rice, OKC Flooring Kitchen, $50,924.02. Stryker Sales, defibrillator, $14,310.43. And Humano Medical, overbed tables, 18 of them, $7,015.68. Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Gary.
Yes.
Zach.
Yes.
John.
Yes.
I can throw in the commentary on the flooring. It ended up being a lot more than we originally planned for, in no small part because once we got in to clear off the old flooring, portions of the floor collapsed and had to be repaired. And so we had to go back a couple of times and say, board, we need a little bit more, so we can finish this up. So, it's all part of that infrastructure, and we're gonna be, doing some longer term planning in the coming year to help us make some, plans to protect the structure and, make, plans for, community services going forward.
Says sign here, I don't.
You got a sticker there, but what's his signature spell?
Okay.
I'm not sure it's the same names. That copy.
Oh, okay.
You wanna sign it now or wait?
Now, can't go down to him.
No, it's just you, your signature.
Just gonna- Is that 5?
Yes.
Okay, item 12, discussion and possible action on procedures for closing of the courthouse during inclement weather.
I put this on the agenda, probably should talked about it before we had some possibility of inclement weather, but, I always thought it was kinda unfair for one elected official to carry the burden of closing the courthouse, for several reasons. Number one is, you know, when I was up in District 1, I had no idea what was going on in the individual offices down here, and what kind of monkey wrench I was gonna throw in closing the courthouse. And also, that's a pretty good sized burden to bear on one person. That was by far the most stressful decision that I ever made, was trying to or not to close the courthouse. So we went to a class, last year, and I think it was Muscogee County that was given, the commissioner there was speaking, and they were talking about closing the courthouse. And the way that they did it is each individual office decided whether they would or would not close the courthouse. And I thought that was actually a really good idea, cause then you kinda spread that, you know, I know like the courts and stuff, that's a really touch and go subject on closing, and so that's why that's on the agenda. I think that everybody that's in the courthouse, all the elected officials that's in the courthouse ought to have some sort of say on whether or not the courthouse is closed or not. Their office. So.
But if one office says they're gonna be closed and the other 3, 4, whatever are open, then it's gonna look like, oh, well, they just didn't wanna come to work that day. I mean,
That's
so
up to
I
that
just feel
elected-
like.
It's up to that elected official.
I know, but I feel like if one office is open, we all should be open.
I would like us to consider, and I know I'm a little different because we're state and not county, but I would like us to consider an emergency services model. Which, so like, when there's gonna be inclement weather, what I intend to do with the court dockets. Sometimes the day before, you'll have a bunch of, you might have 50 criminal cases set with lawyers coming from Tulsa and Oklahoma City and everywhere, and you've gotta know in advance to handle that, schedule that, cancel it. But you don't know if the weather's gonna be bad or whatever, and there's also emergencies that can come up, and I would like to, in the event of anticipated inclement weather, be able to have a model where we consider emergency services only. So we're gonna do initial appearances and do the bond for people that are in jail at 2:00 in the afternoon. We're gonna do protective orders, and so the doors will be open at that time, but regular court things are gonna be canceled and do. And the reason I'm kind of presenting this is, and maybe the other agencies could also consider what are emergent, because I don't know enough about what you do to know what's emergency or not, but the idea is the stuff that can't wait that you could do with the skeleton crew. And if we could do that as a whole, I think number one, it shows the public we're willing to be here. Number two, it solves problems, but number three, my big concern is that way, as one collective unit, you can get it out on the Grady County Courthouse page, you can get it out on the news, you can get it out in the newspaper, you can call George Plummer, you can do those things collectively, but we're not just closed or open. And each agency can make some determinations as to how you're gonna rotate for a skeleton crew, what's your emergency process, and maybe there are some agencies that just, there aren't any emergencies, I don't know. But I'd like us to possibly consider that model, that each agency develops their own emergency services plan. And
Like
that
essential
what
personnel
your
type
job
thing.
would be, what the commissioners would do, would determine, we're gonna be generally open or we're gonna shift to emergency services. I'd like us to consider that possibility.
Makes a lot of sense.
That was done last week where, Commissioner Ruth sent out a message saying, hey, we're gonna be open, but it's up to the department leads, to mitigate your department depending on that. And that makes a lot of sense on skeleton crews, so that's.
Closing the courthouse is a lose-lose situation for whoever makes that decision. You're gonna tick people off, or you're gonna make them happy, or vice versa.
Right.
And I just don't think that's entirely a fair decision to bear for one elected official.
And I'm not saying there wouldn't be an emergency, some terrible that you couldn't even open at all,
I think-
like a tornado or
Right,
something.
I think the commissioner does need the power to be able to close the courthouse completely, if that's, you know, for emergent situations. But, you know, I think
right now, there's just no, it's whatever, you know, like last year I closed it one time, well, it was bad up north. And
Right.
that's the roads that I checked, but down here it wasn't bad, and so, you know, that's, like, I caught some heat off of that, but, you know, I don't know what the solution is, that's why it's on the agenda, so.
Well,
Can we not have like a group text with like one commissioner and then the rest of the elected officials, and then we come together to an agreement?
another thing to think about too, though, some of the employees that work up here, some of them live in District 1, and he may be covered up,
Right.
and he may not. And some of them might live down south in District 3, and the roads are good down there, but they're not here, but, so they need to, the employees need to, if they feel like they need to go home, I think that,
If you have a skeleton crew, you can address some of those problems.
yeah.
If it wasn't bad down south and you had an employee down south, they could come in and work.
Yeah,
with
just-
one.
Which, once again, each elected official would know their crew and where they
Right.
live, more than one commissioner would know all, however many
Right.
employees.
Cause it's just not right about these employees that live north or south and end up having to stay, and then they end up catching a bad road or whatever.
Or even if it's bad, they can't come in.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
we've,
Right,
but we're not gonna know unless the commissioners let us know what the roads are like in those areas.
Yeah.
I mean, other than the employees saying. But if we could get a group thing going where you say the roads are horrible or good to go, we'll know every direction they live in.
well, probably, if we get to work and the roads are really bad, whichever commissioner's in charge of, like Ruth right now, we could notify her and say, hey, the roads are bad down here, and we've got a A-team coming in, we're leaving the others at home today because the roads are so bad. Then that's gonna tell her that any employees from down south probably won't be coming in that.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
That way y'all will know,
Right.
and, what do you think, Charles? I mean, you're the
So the person that doesn't come to work will get paid regular salary?
That was my question.
That was my question too.
And the person that does come to work gets overtime?
I think that's the way it's wrote up now.
I just wondering. Double time?
I think it's just straight time.
Straight.
Yes.
So if I have to come to work, I get straight time, but which is the same amount of money as my partner who didn't come to work gets?
No,
Yes.
so straight time is your time that you're already here, you're getting paid it for that day, but you're also getting extra on top of that. But it won't be comp time.
It won't be comp.
It won't be comp
It'll be
time.
dollars and cents.
Well, it'll just be the time, the exact same amount that you're getting that day.
Does anyone see
It's not gonna be
a
time and a half, it's
potential
gonna be
big
different.
Oh,
Yes.
about this?
It's been
Yes.
from the get-go.
I mean, you're gonna get extra, yes, but you're not gonna get time and a half, which is comp time.
Someone is still getting paid to stay on.
Yes, they are.
Everybody that works in all these departments are gonna be hunky-dory with this.
And until somebody, whoever's in the courthouse says the courthouse is closed, deputies will all be here.
And that was another thing I was gonna say. You know, your department, you're elected, well, you're not, but you live.
Yeah, me and Sheriff already discussed this, until somebody says has the authority to close the courthouse, deputies will be here. For a skeleton crew with 4 people in the courthouse, we'll have 6 deputies here.
And His Honor says we're gonna have court today, but she's decided she's not gonna open up because she's an elected official and she has decided her office is not gonna be open, so how can we do anything in the courtroom whenever we leave the courtroom? Well, we can't. We have to come back tomorrow.
Let me ask you this question, like right now, we have a deputy in each courtroom. If there's a skeleton crew, so there's only one judge here, do you need, could you not have some of your deputies stay home for that purpose?
They would have to take their own time, because unless it's closed, unless unless the courthouse actually gets closed, they either have to take their own time or they have to work.
But it is closing with just a
A
emergency
skeleton crew, basically.
crew,
Yeah, I mean, it's closed except for emergencies.
emergency
I mean,
stuff only.
But
courthouse closed, emergencies
But-
only.
if we're letting people in the courthouse, it's
Have to be
open.
here. Yeah.
So we gotta have somebody maintained up front.
But
You
could we
need all
not
6 for that, though?
alternate some of them, like
If
if it's bad this time, you three come in, if it's bad, next time you others.
They still have to hit their 160 or their 100.
So they would still have to take
They
their
still
own
have to
time
work
when
their
they
own
off sick
time
day or
unless they're over
whatever.
that time, yeah.
Well, you call them and find out.
Stevens, they touch us. I could probably find
Yeah,
out.
it's a,
That.
Yeah.
because,
That's kinda
under
silly.
emergency, there's some, emergency responder rules, basically, where court rulings that we're not exempt from
And we.
taking off and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're essential person.
Essential personnel.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Make sure, we need something. Right.
Yeah, but I mean, there's,
Yeah.
most every time the courthouse is closed, we still do what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'll still come up here and do initial appearances or whatever, cause
Yeah.
people gotta get out of jail.
Yeah.
There's, you gotta have protective orders issued, so we're still doing that now. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, it's the way it's been as
Yeah.
long, for 20 years at least.
Well, we're not letting people in the front door and stuff, though, right?
Right.
Well, some
Well,
of
you
them.
have to let.
Yeah, I mean, but it would be almost like COVID. Like, whereas if you're here because you need a protective order,
Yeah.
you can come in.
Yes.
You know, it's not, there's no spectators,
Yeah.
no whatever, is what I'm picturing.
Yeah.
And how that affects your job setup, I don't know, but as far as like security needs, you kinda need somebody at the front door and maybe another guy so you have redundancy.
Yeah, but yeah, I see the same issue that everyone else sees, who makes that determination of
Right.
who gets the free day off and who doesn't.
Yeah.
Well, and also think of it this way too. Each person is responsible
For themselves.
to get, for themselves,
Yep.
to get to your job.
And that's why it was
Now,
closed.
if it's where you cannot get out on that road and come into the courthouse, that's on you.
Yeah.
That's on that person, because, and if they don't have any time coming, they shouldn't been, they should've been coming to work, saving up their time. They're just not gonna get paid, period. If they can drive into work, but the courthouse is closed. And it's no fault of theirs, I think we have to pay them.
Can we do an admin leave for the people that come to work, that have to work, and the ones that don't, and give them a day off another day,
Yeah, you
where everybody else is here?
You can't give time to anyone, that's it.
Yeah. do that.
Which has been done before, but we can all do that.
Well, Oklahoma County does, and they've got it okay with the auditors, that they can do admin leave.
I don't know what defines admin.
And
know the difference.
they've done it for years, so she said, and the
If
commissioner, she said,
It makes sense.
the auditors say it's not against the law, so,
But say we don't need B team to ever come in. So A team comes in, and then B team looks out, and they don't have to come in, and they're getting paid, right?
I mean,
My
I
guys
heard
work when it
that,
snows. So my guys work when it snows, we just, everybody goes.
Yeah.
If they can't
Well,
make it, they
well,
call in.
We do too, except that, I mean, if it's where they can't get out, we just
Yeah.
hang around the barn, but I mean, you got 30 people running around that barn. You know, you send half of them home, the next team catches next time, so.
We've done, I mean, we have a A shift and a B shift in
Let them
case
draw.
something happens, you know,
Yeah.
if it's that bad.
Yeah.
We'll run,
Yeah.
we gotta run a night crew or whatever, you know,
Yeah.
we have an A shift and a B shift, and they
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
they just flip flop.
and during COVID, when we were all off, that's what they had us put on our timesheets and stuff, admin leave. I mean, we weren't here, so.
Here's some put on Monday. With the, we don't have here.
So on table this or?
I think let's probably table this.
I didn't hear a result.
I'll
We'll
make a
do some more
motion.
research.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to table.
Okay, I'll second it.
Gary?
Yes.
Zach?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Item 13, discussion and possible action on the county website.
This is one of those things that I put on because our county website is very outdated. And now they have put in a new law that we have to be ADA compliant on our website as well. We are not currently, but it doesn't go into effect till April 24th, so, they will fine us hefty if we don't do that. At one time they said something about 75,000 for every time you're not ADA compliant. Right now, there are lawsuits in Texas going on because they weren't ready to go on that. So I checked into this website company, and there's several counties that use it, Comanche County, Wagner County, Tulsa County. They seem to know what they're doing, so, but it's gonna cost us to get that $20,000.
Ruth had a note in here, is there any interest money from the ARPA funds to help?
There is about 100,000 left over in that ARPA money that is administrative fees, which is not guided by ARPA. It's whatever the commissioners want to do with that. So there is some money there that we could pay to get this going. I think we talked and it'd be well worth the money compared to what we're gonna get fined if we don't do it, so.
I was just gonna say on my side of it, looking at it before I even took this job, that county website is painful, antiquated, and here's the thing, as a constituent, nowadays, whether you're a young person or a tenured person, they're looking at all this information, and it is not helpful at all. And I think the thing I've learned with marketing, even the county, that it's a safe county, it's updated, the information updated, the Facebook page is updated, it's just real to make sure, even putting a picture of the nomad on there in the future is gonna be like the county is investing in our safety. So I think it's a little bit of money for the big bang at the end of it, where people are saying, man, this is.
And this website, and the way he talked, would actually have, information for every office to put on there. So that way, if you wanted to go to just the treasurer's office and see how to pay your payments or whatever, it would have that. It would also have a calendar, so that way if we had special events or different things going on, they could click on that and see what that was. And, once you get it set up, it kind of runs itself, which right now, the website, provider that we have is not, we don't get a lot of help from them. So poor Keely has to get on there and fix things and do things. So, but this one seemed very user-friendly, and like I said, he gave us lots of different, ones to go look at, and they're really nice, so, forms that you can pull off of and everything, so.
Keep the same domain name and everything, just,
Do what?
they keep the same address, the web.
Yes,
just be-
he would marry off what we have, but, yeah, he would just have more things that you could pull through and everything. And the main thing is the ADA compliant, and he understood that, with the agenda and the minutes and everything, because that's something the public wants to know. And if you can hear, you're not gonna be able to really hear that, or see that, then you would be able to do that, so you knew all about that and how that would work, so. And Wagner County is really, theirs is real up to date. I really like theirs, in Comanche County too. So if anybody wants to get on and look at theirs is really nice, so.
Do we need to make a motion then to, approve it as far as using the ARPA funds, or does that need to be written up, presented back on the agenda and then do it?
I don't know, would we want it on there as far as what we're using, what
Yeah.
funds we're using?
Yeah, especially since it's touching ARPA in any way.
So we wanna
I
pay for
put
the
that on the agenda item and approve.
Well, it's ARPA funds that will eventually just go into the general account. We just haven't done that yet, but it won't be guided by ARPA.
No, but it still was, it touched it at one time or another. So let's put it on the agenda.
Yeah.
Okay.
vote
So do do you wanna just wait and table this and then
Yeah,
we'll just pull
table
it as
it.
one agenda item next time?
Yeah.
So then if we're gonna just pull it as one agenda item, we just wanna take no action and rewrite it, put it on the agenda the way we want it then?
No action then?
Yeah,
Okay.
because we table it, it'll just stay.
Come back up.
Yeah, it'll pop up just like it is.
Rewrite it to.
Okay, item 14, discussion and possible approval of the 2025 Sheriff Assistance Grant.
I believe that one's been approved. I believe what we're waiting on is Gary, I get you on the, OAX, which is the website for the Attorney General's office. I need you to set up a username and a form that you've got to sign, because the chairman has to sign for that grant. It wasn't clear when it said the official. I thought it meant the sheriff, because he's the one who signed for it last year. But I got a notice back from the Attorney General's office saying that the county commissioner head or the seat is the official in this instance. So I just need to set up time with him to come down and.
Is that the $300,000?
That's the 300,000, yes. Yeah, I know, it's totally different than last year. Last year was
Okay.
3 forms and you emailed them.
Everything you just said didn't apply.
Yeah.
Last year.
Yeah.
I really don't understand
Yeah.
exactly what.
Yeah, last year, I believe Zach signed it, and then we just emailed it, but now you have to get on the website for the Attorney General's office for the distribution of grants, and go in and sign it electronically.
But this is for 2026?
Yes.
So it needs to be, okay, so it needs to be approved then? This needs to be approved, okay.
Okay.
The signature needs to be approved, okay, I see what you're saying, yes.
But who's gonna sign off on it?
Gary has to sign off on it.
But on the
Sure.
website?
Yes, on the website.
On the website, okay.
Okay,
So
so
you're
I
not
have to come
signing
to
it?
your office to do it, or
Yeah,
what?
if you want to come, I'll meet with you at either your office or my office, we'll get you a username and ID, and we'll get you in, I can walk you through on how to sign it.
Okay.
And it has
So-
all the same paperwork that I've submitted previously.
So the grant that you went out for in July or something like
Yes.
that has already been approved by the commissioners?
Yes,
They just needs a signature of the commissioner.
yes.
To be dispersed.
To be dispersed, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Gary,
Son? Yes.
Zach?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
So when do you
I
want?
think one more AG.
If you wanna come over today or whatever afterwards.
Okay. Gotta go over there.
You just call me whenever you're,
About forgot I was supposed to go.
just call me whenever.
Okay.
Cabinet.
That's good, thanks, I would. All right, item 15, discussion and possible approval of the 2026 Grady County Hazard Communication Plan.
This is just a plan that we do every year with the hazard communication and also with, when we get to item 16, it's an annual update that we do every year.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Gary?
Yes.
Zach?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Item 16, discussion and possible approval of the 2026 Disaster Recovery Plan for the following Grady County departments: Assessor, County Clerk, Court Clerk, Fairgrounds Sheriff, Treasurer, District 1, District 2, and District 3. Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Gary?
Yes.
Zach?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Are these the ones I keep in my office?
Yeah, I'll make a copy and bring them to, Keely, and then I'll give a copy to Bill.
I think you just signed those. He has assigned these, right?
Okay.
A lot of them have, and some departments like, that does their own, the treasurer's office and court clerk's office, they have signed it, but with the auditor, that never said anything to me about them, you know, so pretty much when they want to request them, I have them get sent to them.
Item 17, discussion and possible action to enter into executive session for the purpose of discussing the employment, hiring, appointment, promotion, demotion, disciplining or resignation of any individual, salaried public officer or employee, specifically Michael Wilson, Title 25 Oklahoma Statutes 307-B1. Motion to enter into executive session.
I'll second it.
Gary,
Yes.
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 Item 18, back in regular session. Discussion and possible action to enter back into regular session. Make a motion, go ahead.
I'll make a motion to enter back into regular session.
Second.
Gary,
Yes.
Zach,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Okay. Concerning Michael Wilson, discussion and possible action to vote and take any necessary action on executive session on hiring a construction employee. All right, employee Michael Wilson, and he's, been doing an outstanding job working for Mike. We want to pay him $16 an hour, starting effective January the 1st. And that'd be,
What's your motion?
that's my motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, $16 an hour.
Gary,
Yes.
Zach,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Who's gonna, does Bruce need to do that, or me, or?
You can,
Okay, item 20, discussion and possible action to enter into executive session for the purpose of discussing the purchase or appraisal of real property located at 428 South Sixth Street, Chickasha, Oklahoma, pursuant to planning for temporary relocation of county operations during the planned remodeling of courthouse per 25 Oklahoma Statutes 307B3. Make a motion to enter into executive session.
I'll second it.
Gary,
Yes.
Zach,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Regular session.
I'll second it. Good, John.
What?
John got that second.
Oh, okay.
Gary,
Yes.
Zach,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Okay, item 22, discussion and possible action to vote and take appropriate action as necessary pursuant to the above executive session. Okay.
I wanna make a motion to make an offer on the building at 428 South Sixth Street for $550,000, which is, less than the three appraisals that we got. One appraisal come in at 600,000 and the other two come in at 580. And we're 75,000 below the asking price. This building is for our remodels that we're doing in the courthouse. There was only a couple other buildings that was feasible. One of them we'd had security issues with it. It was a rent situation, and the rent over the course of what the remodel would be would cost more than what purchasing the building would be. That's my motion.
I'll second.
Gary,
Yes.
Zach,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Okay, item 23, discussion and possible approval for Grady County to participate in Choice Partners National Purchasing Cooperative.
Second.
You know, have a good week.
Gary,
Yes.
Zach,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Item 24, discussion and possible action on opening and awarding a bid for the 6-month bid on commonly used items for Grady County, January 1, 2026 to June 30, 2026.
I missed it.
see you later.
Yeah.
Jill, is there anything I need to sign on that choice partnership?
I know, was there anything in the packet?
I didn't see anything.
If there's anywhere to sign on that, in the minutes probably.
Okay, that's just curious.
Okay. Sunbelt Equipment Supply Incorporated. December 4, 2025. Ada Aggregates.
Heard it say that.
I didn't either. I never put it in. Do what?
$10 ton of fresh round, $22 for soda chips. Is that what we do?
Kevin, you go up there and look at these ones, too. Doug Ross. Got two of them for that. Overland Materials.
I'm pretty much the one who's ever.
Paperwork, community office, to this Carl Super.
I have mine either.
So good time here and there.
Poor Sydney's gotta go through all this after.
After John and Zach put it together. Gary's ripped it open, John and Zach.
I know we got together, you need to see all my forces, because I got bids next week, and I've got to put together this, so I need to see where they're moving.
T&G Construction.
What order they're in? Jump right in there.
Usually June, December and June, I'm gonna kind of finish the meeting there.
Direct County Tire.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what's that?
Innovative Roadway Solutions.
Went up 5,000, it was 35.
Not interested in that?
Not at 40,000 a month.
P&W Tire.
You know, Zach, we sold them oil for that material,
Yeah.
but I'm not a big believer in it either. I just,
Yeah.
they're way too expensive for what they're trying to do.
It looks pretty for a little bit.
But it's also, it's a whole lot cheaper.
Yeah. When you start talking 40, I mean, you're starting to talk about a level course on
Yeah.
some asphalt.
1 inch hot
Yeah,
mix.
The Lacey.
If you're gonna do that, you might as well chip it.
Might as well. Might as well. I think we did a level course on something last year and it was like 50 grand for the level course.
Yeah. Wilson Culverts.
They went on the crusher, winter crusher 11 something at Western area, 1250.
That's what, it's pretty good. Well, it was cheaper than they went up when we rebid it, because they couldn't make it fast enough,
Yeah.
and then it went back down.
Martin Marietta. Scottwood Industries.
$34.50 per check.
Crack Code.
Crackwood's not bad on there. It's,
Crack Code.
no. Would be unhandy, really unhandy for y'all, would be working for y'all.
Logan County Asphalt.
We didn't have a bid for trucking. It's good stuff, though.
H.G. Jenkins Construction. Haskell Lemon.
That's all.
A&A Trucking. Ergon asphalt and emulsions. SWH.
Never know what they're gonna bid on.
Justin's Tire Service. Southern Tire Mart.
Hold on one second.
Core and Main.
HDP five.
I'm sure y'all have a lot of them, but that's a lot today.
Yeah,
I forgot about it.
6 months worth of
Yeah.
bidding, so.
Well, with two executive sessions and everything else on there, I'm like,
That's why I brought my power bank.
What have you done?
Vulcan Materials Incorporated out of San
You
Antonio.
drew the first time.
Trentos.
Got a busy week, sir? Yeah.
Vance Brothers, Kansas City.
I'll make a motion to table.
Second.
Jamie,
Yes.
Zach,
Yes.
Tom,
yes.
Item 25, discussion and possible action, opening and awarding the bid for one or more truck dump body for Grady County District 2.
Last one good.
Well, that thing's sealed. Max dump body.
I mean, it'll be,
Hopefully. Supposed to have two trucks.
26,065. Southwest trailer. $53,458.
Per? That's per.
it doesn't say,
That's it. That's what they're per.
I guess not each.
I assume so.
We've had really good luck with them, they're nice.
Industrial truck equipment. And it's for $48,355.
You sit on that very long?
Probably not.
You have these, thank you.
Well, given the price discrepancy, knowing what I've seen the Max Body deals, I would like to accept the low bid from Max Bodies for $26,065 a piece.
I'll second that.
Gary,
Yes.
Zach,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
I will just sign it, and if you'll hand that back down, and I'll fill it out.
Okay. Item 26, discussion and possible approval of a table oil and gas lease agreement between Grady County and Camino Natural Resources located in section 19, 7 north, 7 west, Grady County, Oklahoma.
This was a different one than the first one she originally thought of. It's another additional.
This is the table one that came through last week.
So it just needs a motion.
Okay. I'll make a
If that's
motion.
what you wanna accept.
I'll second it.
I'll make a motion.
Gary,
Yes.
Zach,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
It's just me.
Just you?
Yeah.
That's not the
Wait a minute here. Put it back. Oh, that's not this too. Let's see. Okay, item 27, discussion and possible approval of an oil and gas lease agreement between Grady County and Camino Natural Resources located in section 32, 7 north, 7 west, Grady County, Oklahoma.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Yes.
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 Item 28, discussion and possible approval of submitting a ODOT reimbursement claim, Form 324A for RDB Holdings LLC regarding easements for project J3-33552-004 CI.
This is for our Sarah Road Bridge project, it's still, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
John?
Gary,
Yes.
Zach,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Item 29, discussion and possible approval of depositing a reimbursement check from ACO in the amount of $44,872.55 into the sheriff M&O account for repairs from hail damage to Unit 0901, Unit 1408, Unit 1603, Unit 1704, Unit 1708, Unit 1801, Unit 1901, Unit 2001, Unit 2002, Unit 2201, Unit 2203, Unit 2309, Unit 2403, Unit 2410, Unit 2412, and Unit 2414. Make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Gary, Zach,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Item 30, discussion and possible approval of utility pipeline, road crossing permits, water line, fast line permits, and driveway ten-on permits.
I'll have him.
Okay. Item 31, discussion and possible approval of county officer monthly reports. Motion to approve.
Second.
Gary,
Yes.
Zach,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Huh?
On this one right here is just the top two pages.
Oh, that's it?
No, there's another page.
Second one.
See.
I'll second.
Gary,
Yes.
Zach,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Item 32, discussion and possible approval of estimate of needs, request for appropriations and transfer appropriations. Have a motion.
Second.
Yes.
Zach,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Oh,
That one right there too. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
not through. I'll say
Gary,
yes.
Zach,
Yes.
John.
Yes.
I say that right here on